Hello and welcome to the Unusual Comparison Podcast with me, Ronnie.
Tamara.
And Kiren.
And if you've never listened to the podcast before, what we do is we get two random categories, we put them in a number generator, and then we see what we get and have to compare them, whatever. That was a terrible explanation, but if you listen to them, you'll understand by this point.
You'll get it as it goes on.
Eventually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy. So I've got two special guests here today.
Yeah, I'm Kiren, living in London, trying to figure out who I am.
Trying to, every day she's hustling.
Every day I'm hustling on the streets, trying to get that money.
Trying to get her mixtape out.
I've got my mixtape, you can find her online.
Also an actor, to find her on every single social media ever.
Yeah. Oh yes, I'm also an actor. To be honest, it's my first podcast, so excuse me for talking over Tamara most likely, or because she doesn't matter. And
yeah,
that's why it's Tamara's first podcast as well. So
yeah,
should be good.
Yeah.
You
could get awkward, but I mean,
it is what it is. Just bear with us, guys.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to generate the first number. Our first number is 3, which is London life.
Yes.
Thank fuck someone sent that in because that is so easy for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
We all live in London, which I suppose they knew when they sent it in because even when I didn't live here, I lived in London anyway.
True. Yeah, especially because I think me and Tamara we've only really lived in London since September.
You've had a different experience than you obviously lived here your whole life.
And then so our second number is 25. Childhood.
Yes.
How deep?
Topical.
How deep?
You don't have to take it deep, man. That's all up to you. But so it's childhood versus London life. Once again, I think I hit gold. Fucking hell. Then again, I messed up the selfies versus bloggers, and that was really easy.
Mm-hmm.
That and I still messed it up.
Yeah.
So London life versus childhood. I mean,
talk about your life in your childhood in London.
Oh yeah, I grew up in South East. We have the biggest crime rating of anywhere in the country.
Have you ever witnessed a burglary or a kidnapping?
Twice in my own house.
No way.
Yeah, we are. Depending where we move, counting all different places I've lived, we've been robbed 8 times.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
One time my older sister had a house party and these guys came in halfway through, Croydon lads,
Oh my god.
and stole everything owned,
No.
anything expensive. That's and when I was about 5, I was playing inside the house and a guy ran through. He'd stolen something. He actually wasn't robbing us, but he was a robber. He stole something from, I think it was, I don't even know where it was, but because I was 5. But he ran through the house. I was like, it's a strange man, but I'm 5. I started calling my dad, but then he ran throughout the garden. And so we had a human, a cartoon style, human shaped thing in the fence, so he ran through. I don't think they called him. I don't know. I was 5.
Yeah.
Have
I was living in London.
Have you ever witnessed someone getting shanked?
Just yesterday.
Have you ever
Assembly
shanked anyone?
No.
Have you ever shanked anyone?
We know what you're about, Ronnie, and I would
Have you ever robbed
you.
someone?
I had punched people. I haven't robbed anyone.
Wow.
But that was drunk guys at bars, so they deserve it. 100%.
Have you ever kidnapped someone?
I kidnapped you here.
Oh
This
yeah,
podcast.
that's true.
That's true.
You took off the bag over your head and you're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends who I've got a guy who's not involved in anything, but he's been stabbed 4 times because he lived in a state like that. One time he literally sometimes he was just passing wrong place at wrong time. This one especially, he literally one time went to get groceries, came back, and saw these 2 people having a fight, and then the guy was just like, you didn't see anything. He was like, no, of course I didn't see anything. And he got stabbed in the leg anyway.
What?
And that was the time he almost died because it was a giant gash. So that's living life in London. How about you guys? Because they don't know where you lived.
I'm from Leicester.
Born and raised?
No, I was born in Derby actually.
Really?
Where's Derby?
Derby's probably a half an hour drive up to an hour drive from Leicester. I don't remember living in Derby, to be honest. I moved to Leicester probably a couple of years old maybe. I can't really remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I've pretty much lived in Leicester my whole entire life. Leicester's not... I think the population is around about 300,000. No, it's not. I don't know how many... Wait, I think it's 30,000 or something.
I'm trying to see where you are in the country. I actually don't know.
Mid-West.
It's probably Leicester
Mid-East.
Air Tools and
No,
Leicester Square. I want to see Leicester.
It's Mid-East. But it's still north, sort of.
Middle East.
Oh, it's
Okay.
it's right in the middle.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's pretty much bang in the middle. And it's it's pretty ideal in terms of like going to somewhere like Birmingham or wanting to go to
Nottingham.
Nottingham.
Yeah, yeah.
Nottingham's literally like half an hour on
I think
driving.
I've gone by
Go there.
Leicester when I saw my grandparent in Manchester.
Yeah, like sometimes like during college, like during lunch or something, I could go Nottingham for lunch.
Yeah, that's quite nice though.
That's
To
quite
have
cool.
that.
But
Yeah, London's quite a way out for you.
yeah, it's like a 3-hour drive, man.
How big is Leicester?
It's fairly decent. It is not like tiny.
I'm gonna wait. You
Talk about the population.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up all our populations and statistics. Well, I'll get up with yours as well. You have to introduce where you're from.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Northern Ireland, but I lived in the Middle East till I was 10, so like I don't really have a Northern Irish accent, I don't think. I don't think, but like people disagree. They're like, yeah, you do.
You
But
do.
It's mind you, it's not as like severe as other people's are.
Maybe you have like a slight American twin to
Yeah.
it. So.
But I think that's because like the international school. 'Cause someone said like that if you go to an international school, like your accent is always a mix of like American and like your home country. I think that's true though.
Where were you born in Northern Ireland?
I wasn't born in Northern Ireland. I was actually born.
Sorry. Where were you spent most? Where were you before this in Northern Ireland?
I was in this place called Derry,
Derry.
or Londonderry, to be politically correct.
It's so funny. You've like lived in like Dubai in the Middle East and gone to Northern Ireland, but you were born in like Stoke-on-Trent.
Yeah, I know. Started from the
That's pretty
bottom,
funny.
now I'm
Started
here.
from the
you
bottom.
know?
Now I'm here.
That's
it.
so funny.
I don't really remember it like, but
Stoke-on-Trent really is a shithole.
yeah, people say that.
Your population is 85,016.
It's pretty small.
Not London. Leicester's about almost 350,000.
Really.
Ugh.
So it is.
Derry's pretty small if you think about it.
They've got race statistics for me.
What?
Like they have ethnicities and stuff.
What, Leicester?
No, not for mine. I thought you were looking yours up.
Yeah, I am.
I'm trying to find where, because they want doing demographics and they go by borough, but where I'm from is mixed up 5 boroughs.
Tower Hamlets, there's us.
I live in Croydon technically, and that's race. Where's the normal population? I suppose I live in Greater London, so my population since 2000, according to 2011 was 8,173,900. I might have to look up my town, which is Crystal Palace. If you didn't know by the fact, look through the Crystal Palace transmitter in a video, which you might not know because to be fair, who watches my videos anyway?
Love that you really tried to spell chiropractor in your search history.
Why did they
She really struggled with that one. But it's okay, Ronnie, it happens sometimes.
Well, you know, like the other day I misspelled February 3 times. February should not be spelled like that.
It
Why?
shouldn't.
It's like February. Like, what?
February.
Who the fuck? Who the fuck did it that way? Not Crystal Palace FC. No one gives a fuck about them. Of course, everyone does, bitch. And that's the actual Crystal Palace. No one cares about that either. We want the actual town. See, this is where it's getting like quiet. So, I said a bit about my childhood. I didn't really say anything about it. Like, I just said this crime bit there, but
Yeah. That's probably what it's most known for, I guess.
especially southeast, yeah, because we have Croydon and Peckham and Brixton.
Leicester's quite known for being really multicultural, diverse. It's known for having really good food there. Like, in London, especially like in East London, is pretty shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, what about Real Taste though?
that's a chicken
except
place. for those who don't know.
yeah, Real Taste is basically mine tomorrow's second home.
You'll find if we're ever missing, we're probably in Real Taste.
Yeah, if Ronnie ever like says on
Or
the podcast,
spoons.
Or Spoons.
or
Or
spoons,
Sleeping.
But Real Taste more so.
Real Taste, love that chicken shop.
Also,
Shout out to Real Taste,
shout out to Real Taste if you ever want to send us some chicken wings or
because we're trying to like promote you right now.
we're trying to get the name out about Real Taste, so you know.
It's not the one that does the pizza for £4. I think we talked about that on
I know
the
I never
podcast
get
before.
pizza in there.
It's a £4 pizza. You wait 20 minutes.
It's a chicken shop, Ronnie. It's just blasphemous. to
But
get
£4 pizza, that's a bargain. See, my problem with Crystal Palace, and the reason why I can't find statistics, is that we're made up of Bromley, Croydon, Lambeth, Southwark, and Lewisham. We are literally like made up of 5 different boroughs coming together.
Yeah.
We get driven through quite a lot. So you can't actually find anything useful about us.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that we had a Crystal Palace, which is actually glass, but fuck it.
I think coming to London from Leicester wasn't like, it's somewhat of like a drastic change. I think the most drastic change was uni life from living at home with your parents
Yeah, for sure.
to
Because
living.
I had the same thing as well.
Yeah, because I think I'm really from like a city, and I was prepared for London life. It wasn't necessarily like it's not because a lot of people before moving to London, a lot of people told me like, oh, London life is crazy. You can get very lonely. And
My mum said the same thing.
Mum was like, it's a very. One of my friends was like, oh, London's like a place where you can get lonely really quickly because it's such a busy city and it's always on the go.
Yeah,
and that's never like.
No,
I'm fine with that.
But I haven't even found that either because
I haven't really like acknowledged it or anything.
I think it's because we're not living in a random apartment flat. We're living in a really, really close-knit building where everyone knows each other. We've all got each other on WhatsApp. We go out drinking together. We go out to the bar together. I mean, this building is a solid reason why you don't feel lonely. Like, if we were just put somewhere random where you couldn't talk to anyone in your building and all the people you knew were basically people in your lectures, how lonely would that be?
I know.
I still wouldn't. I don't know.
I mean, you two would have known each other.
But you think about like even during freshers, everyone was just really excited to make friends and they were all very sociable. So I think even if I didn't know you guys, I would have made good friends and stuff like obviously not as close as we are, but
I mean, the thing is also about like in our building especially, which is a Unite building. I'll say that because we filmed in here, so I feel bad about it. But like a lot of people in here aren't from London, and especially like most likely
Not
other
from England,
countries.
yeah.
Not from England at all. And so like a lot of people don't have connections at all to anyone in London. Like if we were put somewhere where most people in the building were from London, they probably wouldn't socialise as much.
Yeah.
I think it's probably happens to a lot of universities. Like when a lot of people are mostly from that town, then they already know a lot of people there, so they don't socialise with people. So people who aren't from there will get really isolated.
Yeah.
Happens a lot. Luckily, we're kind of in a very mixed area, so.
And I think also like moving to London, I kind of like sort of picture some people that wouldn't really like living here and how they are so complacent with like basic life and like living in the city or just living like a very ordinary life. And it's like living in London is really like somewhere where you can really sort of become someone else, I think, and you can really learn about
so many opportunities, like more so than it's a cliche to say it, but there honestly is more than like, for example, back home.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the point of London. That's like since the Industrial Revolution. Everyone left everywhere else in England to come down to London because that's where jobs were, that's where everyone was.
Yeah.
That's why the population of everyone else is pretty more, like, smaller. And then, like, other cities evolved because it got too expensive here. Yeah. What are the biggest cities in London? I don't...
But Manchester
definitely is number 2. Isn't, like...
Birmingham
and Liverpool, right?
Liverpool's pretty big, yeah.
Where do you think of Brighton is on that? Because it's quite pretty big. But that might be, like, a more tourist place.
Yeah.
Brighton's more known for its seaside more than anything. And for its, like, sort of, like,
even
bar,
it's fucking Pebbles.
club.
I mean,
it's the best gay clubs. I will say that.
I got rejected from there, but I won't talk about it, so...
What?
I got rejected from Brighton.
Oh, let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about it.
Let's move on.
I mean, I've moved on. I'm not bitter, so...
I mean,
Those bitches.
I mean, I lived in London, but I just lived more in Greater London. Like, now I'm almost in exactly Greater London. Like, we're one road away. We're, like, 20-minute walk away from actual central London. And it's, like, it weirds me out, because every time I look on a map and I see that I'm in walking distance of a big landmark, it freaks me out.
Really?
Yeah, because, I mean, I used to live a little out of London. Like I lived the distance between you and, what did you say? Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived, like, that distance away from everything. So even though I was in London, I was only, like, really on the edge. Like, so I'm not used to thinking I can walk 20 minutes to walk to here. Like, I can walk to London Bridge right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's true. I think it's crazy for, like, us too, especially, like, now that we live so... You, more than any of us, live so far. Another fact that we literally can walk to, like, Tower Bridge.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, you jogged there once.
I did. I like ran to like this one time.
This one
Got
time.
up at like 6 a.m. and I ran to London Bridge. It was quite nice.
Yeah.
It is. And it's like
I biked in the London Bridge.
I feel like coming into like London, I thought it was so much bigger than it actually was. But now that you're actually here, it's like you realise how easy it is to commute to like a place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nowhere in London is really out of reach.
That's because we also have one of the best travel in the world. Like in terms of like
transport, yeah.
Yeah, transport in terms of like a city. Like, yeah, some places like, especially like, isn't like Japan has like the fastest trains in the world, but they haven't got down the bus system. But we have the bus and train system pretty much.
Night bus changed my life.
Night bus, yeah.
Yeah, I mean like, and also like the thing about London is that And Uber is always like 4 minutes
I
away.
know. It's always less, I find.
Yeah.
It's like round the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how that's different is from you, but even in mine, it'd be like wait 20 minutes.
Uber
to get an
saves lives. Like it really
Leicester
does.
got Uber now, and I'm feeling really weird about it. I don't know if I like it.
It was like you're a thing. And now you have to wait like 20 minutes.
Tomorrow,
to
shut the
it.
fuck
Sorry.
up.
Sorry. Okay.
I mean, to be honest, London's mostly famous for our black cabs, but they cost so much fucking
I know.
money.
And it's like,
I've taken
It
like
always
3 in my
shocks-
life, and every single time my parents have paid for it because I was not on it.
now that you live in London as well, it actually shocks people that people ever get a black cab. Like, ever.
It's always tourists.
I know.
20%. And it's like, you know,
And it's not their fault because, like, they don't
They don't really know better.
know any better.
No.
But now that you're here, like, I'd
it's 'cause
probably never get a black cab in the
I
next 5
completely
years,
understand.
10 years.
Yeah, I completely understand when people who aren't native speakers or just don't speak English at all understand why they wouldn't get a travel card.
Yeah.
But in the end, they really need to learn. If you can get a travel card, that will save you like 80 quid from your journey if you're taking black
Yeah.
cabs everywhere.
And it's like the other day, like last Friday, I lost my Oyster card, like my student one, and I couldn't find one. I didn't have it on me.
Yeah.
And I was like, couldn't be bothered to walk all the way back home and get it. So I was just like, oh, whatever, I'll just like buy a ticket like one way. So I was with my friend, and I really wanted Chipotle. So and I bought it, and guess how much? It was like £4.80 to go to like Liverpool Street, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
With what?
it was like from Mile End to Liverpool Street. It was £4.80 one way
On
on the tube.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I'm serious.
Because that's like in zone 1, so it's different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
so-
like
yeah, you get-
still that's
costs more.
extortionate. Like a $5 for like it was like 2-3 stops.
But I don't know if
Bruh.
it's a big deal for any of you because you didn't live in London. I don't know if it affected any other areas. I mean, don't you guys have like brands of buses? Like it isn't done by the government. You have like brands of buses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need a ticket for that exact brand, otherwise you can't get on that bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I experienced that when I go out of London. It's always really fucking weird. Like I get a ticket and I'm like, I can't go on this bus.
Yeah.
What?
That's normal for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like in the last 2 years, I want to say they said they didn't allow us to have change on buses anymore, and we could only use Oyster cards or like contactless. And before then, it'd be like that's how little kids would pay. Unless the parents bought them Oyster cards, you put change in, or if you've lost your Oyster card, you put change in. And it was like a big fucking deal here because it meant that in an emergency situation, you can't get a bus, you can't get home.
Yeah, but I guess like vast majority of cards now as well are contactless.
No, but this was before contactless was big, because contactless has only been big in the last year or so.
A couple of years, yeah.
And like, actually,
True.
it's probably been
True.
I think the change thing was almost 4 years ago actually. Yeah, and like before that, I mean, no one had contactless cards, and only like 30% of the population had Oyster cards. They were really trying to push the Oyster card. Is the main thing.
I really need to get contactless for the nights I get fucked up because sometimes I don't know my PIN code and I need contactless.
Yeah.
I feel behind. My mum has contactless and she has
I know, my mum does too.
My mum has an iPhone 4 and she has contactless and she's just got an iPhone 5.
What is
life?
what is this?
But bring it back to life.
Oh yeah, back to
Yeah,
London.
brilliant.
Sorry.
I think the other big extortion thing for tourists though is if you ever go to the airport, I think it's Heathrow that does it and Gatwick. You know, it's like the Gatwick Express. It's like the most expensive train you can get for a short distance. Like they make you pay like 25 quid to go from Gatwick to like somewhere in central London, and that is not a long journey. That is not long at all, and you have to pay 25 quid. If anyone knew anything about London, so if you were at Gatwick and if you're from the area, you'd know you can make like 2 changes on National Rail, and you'll spend about 3 quid to get to the same distance.
If I know getting the National Express from Stansted to Mile End cost me £7 if you order it like.
Well, no, so your Stansted's a bit different because that's a bit further out.
Then it should be more surely than Gatwick.
Well, that's because Stansted's not a big airport. Gatwick and Heathrow are the biggest airports.
Yeah.
And then it goes London City, and then it goes Stansted. Because London City only does like really close flights.
Yeah, they're the cheap
Like,
ones.
yeah, you pretty much like France, Greece, that's it.
We went to Dam from City.
I really
Airport.
need to go for another holiday somewhere like Greece, somewhere on a nice island.
Yeah.
Are you up for it?
I'm up for it.
Okay, let's do it.
So,
I'll just. I mean, what else is the student loan for? Do you know what I mean?
What is the maintenance grant for?
What is that for?
What, like, except drinking,
Drinking, clothes,
ministry,
ministry, XOYO, Coco.
real taste, spoons.
What more would you spend it on? I mean,
I feel so sorry for American and Canadian listeners who are just like, what the fuck is going on? And also like that one Moroccan listener, I know you're out there, well done. Guaranteed that they're on the statistics. Just shout out to you for paying attention. Yeah, here's the thing. How old are you both? Because I'm 19.
I'm 19.
I'm 18.
Okay, so you both.
Little joke, I'm 35, and then
Okay, so Tamara, you're slightly younger, but have you still went on drinking nights out when you were back in Derry, right?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
so-
as much as I do here.
So what would you compare like drinking here?
huge. I think it's huge. I think because I've been 18 back at home, and I've like been clubbing quite a bit. I used to go like every Saturday, every other Saturday, not every Saturday. I wouldn't say. I'd always go to like clubs and stuff. Like even when I was 17, I would always get my like older friends to buy me alcohol. So I've drank. So when I came here, it was like drinking was more
Except
flexible because I could drink whenever with whoever at any time.
Yeah.
That's what's changed. But I'm not like I can't drink necessarily how I was before.
Yeah.
Because when you first start drinking and it's like, oh my god, like I'm drinking alcohol and you can't really taste it. But when you've drank it quite a few times, you taste
You
it
get
so
preferences as well.
much. Yeah, and it's like, ugh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up any minute.
You tell me?
I didn't actually go out that much because I only just turned 18, really, like in late April, so...
Yeah, but you drank before, right?
Like I drank a little bit, but like going out and stuff,
Oh, okay.
to clubs, like I started going out like late April or whatever.
So what would you say the earliest drinking age for you was?
Honestly, like I drank when I was 16, but I didn't do it very often, like...
Okay.
Plus I drank with my parents, but that doesn't
Yeah.
really count, do you know what I mean, from younger.
I used to drink often when I was about 17. I drank quite a few times before then, but I wasn't really like a drinker. I wouldn't say I'm a drinker now either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
think
disagree, Kieran.
Well,
I
but
disagree.
I think it's mostly about the first year of university.
Yeah.
Because when I say I started drinking at 14, I started drinking at 14.
But were you like drinking every like weekend? Like drinking every like week or something? That's when you're like
Yeah.
a drinker.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't drink weekly until I was literally 18.
Like I think the first bit in when I was like 14, that was like the shitty WKD and Smirnoff Ice. I didn't bang
yeah,
on
that's
that.
not really drinking.
And
is
shit
it?
cider. But then you and your friends get Glens somehow because we had
Glens
an
is the
offie.
worst.
We had an offie.
So
I can't
bad.
name it because it's still functioning. They would literally sell alcohol to 12-year-olds and not give a shit.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
And everyone in the whole of South London knows about this place. You can talk to anyone in South London. Like, we have a guy from South London.
You know who you are. You know it.
There's a guy from South London in this building. I can actually ask him if he knows about and you can see.
Yeah.
Though he's from South and West, so it's kind of different. But, it was so easy. And you go to the offie, then you go to the park, and then you could stay there for hours.
I never did that, Ronnie. I never went park drinking.
But I was thinking maybe it's like a London thing. It's like, we've got...
She did it too.
Oh.
It's not.
I knew people that did it as well.
Not everything's a London thing.
Yeah,
Ronnie.
we do have civilization,
Yeah.
Ronnie, back in our small towns.
But
No,
no,
but I'm saying-
that's where you like start. That's where you start from the bottom. You start in the park, get the bottles out, ho.
Popping bottles.
No, I'm saying like...
I remember once. I was like quite
On average.
smashed. I was quite smashed, and me and my friend was in the park on the swings, like pre-drunk, and then these kids came, and I was low key just about to throw up in the corner. I was like spitting on the grass, and these kids were like playing
Nice.
around. I was like, classy bird, I am. What am I like?
What are you like?
What am I
Accents,
like?
guys. Americans can barely understand us now.
No.
That's a fucking lie. I don't know if they can understand us anyway. But no, I just meant the kinds of like average drinking. Then again, I'm a private school bitch, so we all drank and shit very young. I don't know if that's the same for
Yeah.
everyone.
I've never went to private school. Did you?
Oh,
No,
Tamara.
I mean, international schools are always like fee paying.
Yeah.
Did you pay for it at school?
Yeah, I did.
There you go.
What
But I
about
mean,
when
I wasn't really much of a drinker when I was 8, so...
What about when you moved to Northern Ireland?
I had a cheeky one.
No, I went to public schools there.
Oh, okay, that's so it's different.
Yeah.
I changed when I was in sixth form. The main reason was at private schools that the public school in that area had said that they wouldn't take me because I was Asperger's and they didn't have the facilities to deal with me, so we all moved to private. To be quite honest, the school that we used to go to, well, my older sister used to go to, has only just got good. Before that, it was like the biggest shithole ever, and it was like the amount of people that would actually stay throughout the entire school career was incredibly low. Like something like 10% would actually go through GCSEs.
No way.
Yeah.
And that was a private school?
No, that was the public school.
Oh.
Private schools, they would kill you if you didn't.
Yeah. But even mine at public schools is the same. Like, everyone made it to A-level,
Yeah.
the vast majority.
Yeah. I mean, at the private school I went to, I got 8.5 GCSEs, and that was low for my school. Because there are people in my year who get like 15, and like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And I went to a public school, but it wasn't very like known for being quite
Rough.
academic.
Oh, okay.
It was quite rough in some sense, but it was just like not very academic. Like not everyone did great at their GCSEs. Not everyone went to uni. I know quite a few friends that haven't been to uni.
Yeah.
So
I'm the same. Like there were some people who didn't.
it's only like I only knew probably like 1 or 2 people out of my year that went to like Oxford or Cambridge.
Yeah, it was the same. But I feel
I
like
don't think I know anyone from who went
most
to Oxford
people
or
did
Cambridge.
go into uni in my uni.
See,
in my school, sorry.
Our school was like an unofficial performing arts school. Like they wouldn't say it because then they'd lose loads of funding. But they put so much money into their choir, into their music section, into their drama section. Like we pretty much knew that it was performing arts school. But if they said it, they would have no money whatsoever because no one like it was not. It's not a good school. Like it was like the bottom of the barrel of private.
Yeah,
It was very close to me, so that was handy.
I went to a school. I lived at school. Yeah, I went to a school that was like within 20 minutes walking distance, and it's exactly the same with like uni now.
Yeah.
I've never had to rely on public transport.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for kids that have to rely on public transport. I have to wake up at like 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like 6 in the morning,
People
sorry.
like really out of like town had to make it to school.
That's
People like that.
I know quite a lot of people like that.
And like even then you had to like rely on a car too. Like if you did, say if you just turned 18, like you had to get a car, or else you'd have to get the bus and shit. Like just like.
There are people in university who see that as well. I know people who live outside London, and so they wake up at 5. No, they get the train at 5 so they can come here
Yeah,
for college in the morning at like 10. I'm like, what the fuck? Where are you living?
people commute. Like so many people in uni, especially commute, and it's just like insane for me to like have to think to travel. It's like normal for them to travel an hour and a half in the morning
But I mean,
just to go to a lecture.
I mean, like it seems like they're spending more money on commuting than they would like living here,
Yeah,
like easily.
See, I can make it barely to my 2 p.m. lectures or
I mean,
7
that's-
hours.
exactly.
So
like,
5 a.m. start is a push.
it's a
for
push.
me.
I mean, my 9 a.m. is a struggle most days. And I
I
live
rarely
about
ever get.
7 minutes from
I
uni.
mean, I got up at 4 a.m. today. But
I
then it
woke
was an
up.
off day.
Yeah, I wake up at about 5 p.m.
I mean, 4 p.m. for me, but I'm not proud. So
That's the uni life for you in London.
that's
Yeah.
how it is, you know?
And just university life.
Yeah, in general, for sure.
Also, it's like
Your like uni life is so wild. You go out every day, and I literally slept till 4 p.m. today, and I did nothing last night.
yeah. I mean, like the thing.
It's not as
I know,
wild.
this still counts as
Lads,
childhood, but
lads,
lads. I think it's like still childhood because we're talking about schools. But in terms of like how schools prep you for university, it's a fucking lie. When they tell you about you've got an essay to do on like one night, and then you get like 3 weeks for an essay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like they say like if you don't come to a lesson at university, they're really gonna care. And then here it's like, do they?
But that's really part of it. No, it's like you have to figure out uni, I think, for yourself. And whereas
Yeah.
at school, like people are gonna pressure you to get things in on time and your exams. Like they're basically it's like spoon feed you until such a late age.
Yeah.
And like on one hand, like they're just trying to do what's best for you. But when you actually get to uni, it's so different.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have to motivate yourself, like you have to timetable your day yourself,
I think you also get a lot like
and that's the hardest part, I'd say.
I know, just taking responsibility for yourself is so difficult, isn't it?
Because someone else hasn't up until now, I feel
Yeah.
like.
I mean, how many people are in each of our classes? Like, I'll say my classes are about a size of 30 to 40 people.
No, mine's are huge.
Yes, like what kind of number?
Like
Just
100,
throw one out there.
I think it's 150.
And
And
then-
that's only half my course. Like, the other half do their lectures at different times than me. But that's because, like, biomed is such a huge faculty, I feel like.
On my course, there's probably up to like 200 maybe. I can't
in
really,
lectures.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole course with all.
Yeah. I was wondering if drama was different in terms of if you were more like me in terms of you didn't have lectures. Because I don't really have lectures.
We have
I know
like
we have
one.
but otherwise we're all like close knit.
Yeah, we have like 1 hour lecture 1 week.
Yeah.
But it's seminars really. And every semester we change around our groups. But everyone in drama knows who they are.
Yeah.
So it's not like, and because everyone's so sociable in drama, which is quite expected.
Yeah, I expected from drama.
It's everyone's super like.
It's pretty much the same for media. Like we'll go out drinking after. But how different is that for like?
Mine's is quite different. Like,
Just like talk to each other.
I mean, I have a couple of good friends on my course, but
No,
I'd
you
say the
don't.
majority. That's you're just jealous because I'm seeing other people, Kiren. But like majority of it were like very cliquey. I find in my course.
Oh,
Like there's a crew. There used to be a group chat that was like 150 people. So obviously in the beginning, everyone's gonna break up into different groups after such time. And yeah, we're not like a super social bunch.
Like
But that's why I'm so close to like you guys. I feel like
the building is like
Because I ain't got nobody else.
I got no friends. Stop it, you.
Like in terms of cliques, do you like know exactly what they are? Like for me, because I do film and broadcast, it's pretty much like the directors, the writers, and any of the more like tech-based ones in terms of like cameramen, editors, sound-based people, and like you immediately know what kind of person that person is. Like you like hear them talk for 1 second, like that guy's a fucking writer.
There's definitely like cliques and stuff.
Yeah.
In drama, I feel like between. I mean, sometimes there's very like definite groups of friends between girls. And stuff. I'm just sort of like cool with everyone, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people that I'm like some people are more closer to the others, of course. But I think I'm fine with everyone. I don't really like. I don't know. I don't really care too much. I'm just a loser.
She just has no friends, and she's
true.
cool with it. So that's key.
Oh, we should probably drop back into London. I keep forgetting.
Okay,
In terms
nice.
of like, okay, the biggest thing I see from changing from Greater London to Central London, the biggest difference for me is how many people in the street ask me for money.
You know what's worse? When they ask you for money and you don't even have money yourself.
Yeah, I'm a student, man. I don't have money for you.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't carry change ever.
Do you take card?
The change. No, my
Do
god.
you take Amex?
My god, my friend Andy, when he was in Birmingham, he lives in Birmingham. One time he was walking down the street and he was like, I have no change. This guy pulls out a card machine.
Get out.
No, seriously,
Get
bring
the
that card
fuck
machine.
out.
And he was like, I'm almost impressed enough to do it, but I feel like you'd just be copying my card. So he was like, I'm good, man. But, like, the main thing is just like, there is this woman who stands outside the Barclays thing, so I have to make sure I walk around her. She'll stand outside the Barclays and ask people for change. When they say they don't carry change, she'll say, well, the card machine's just here.
Cheeky bitch.
Tell a bitch that's why you on the streets, you know?
There's also a player.
That attitude. I'm joking. Obviously, I don't hate homeless people.
No,
I don't hate him as well, but I think
But it's
it's
like
already...
a bit cheeky, like stuff sometimes. Like,
Yeah,
it's
sometimes they are. That sounds so harsh saying it.
no, but we have quite a big homeless population on Whitechapel Road. I'm not even gonna fucking lie, we live in Whitechapel.
Yeah, there are a few.
Yeah, I think especially in London, I'm very like quite questionable.
Yeah.
Quite skeptical.
Yeah.
There's like a woman who hangs around Underground Station. Basically, she has like an Oyster card. I bet it's not even hers. So she says, "Can I just have change to put on my Oyster card?" I see her like every fucking day. So it's like she's just raising money, just pretending that she needs to put money on her Oyster card.
Yeah. But
It's
even
like-
it's like
I understand like having a certain routine maybe to get more money, but I don't know. It's just
it depends like
It's a
where you
weird
are as well.
line.
So I remember when I'd go to Ecuador or whatever, and you'd see like a lot of people asking for money. It's like you don't roll your window down because like it's kind of dangerous. Like
yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
just
same
don't- you
in
just don't do
India
it.
as well.
so obviously it's not as bad here, but you still would be kind of apprehensive. I feel like
Yeah.
because it is questionable sometimes. I feel.
There's a lot of situations where people try and talk to you in the street, and it's not even like for change. My main thing, but
Tamara, I told you to turn your fucking phone on silent.
this is so unprofessional,
I'm
guys.
sorry, Kiren. I'm sorry.
Sometimes,
Did you actually
sorry.
put it on silent, or did you
It's
put it
just
away?
hard being really popular, you know? You wouldn't understand, Kiren.
Your mum
because
texted
you don't.
you. Your mum texted you. I saw the message, bitch.
Actually, your mum. But
Sorry?
jokes, it was your mum, Kiren, so joke's on you.
She just calls her mum in bed.
Mm-hmm.
I got too awkward.
No comment from Kiren. No comment.
The biggest thing here, but I was kind of used to it when I went to Brixton and like everything. Well, even just my normal road.
You know what, bitch? You know what? Fuck you.
One more thing, Tamara.
You're a hoe.
What a burn.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
people asking,
Anyway, what were you saying, Ronnie?
it's people asking for cigarettes.
Yeah.
I mean, like we have a building one. That's kind of people you know. But like I had this like one time like if you do it at a bar or whatever, it's kind of accepted. That's pretty much to start conversation, to start flirting. What happens like though in the middle of the road when
That's
someone asks you a cigarette and it's like one time it was like two guys come up to me and I was like just like they was like really asking me for I was like, oh, you clearly got some, because they saw me take out like a packet and take more than one out. No, you take more than one out, but it looks full. And so they fucking put your phone away. It's the guys. How bad is this?
Come
But,
on, Kiren, how unprofessional.
I'm looking at my face. I've got so many spots on my forehead.
Okay, well, people really care that much, Kiren, so put the phone away.
On an audio podcast. But
Oh,
and they
poor
were like,
Kiren.
and I was literally like, okay, just give it to them and walk away. And they kept like, they pretty much trying to keep me there and talk to me for like another 20 minutes. And at the point, I was just like so ready. But then I saw my friend, and he literally just like came over and was like, "Hey, you okay there, guys?" And he just like moved them away.
Yeah, but I feel like for Greater London, it's not a huge difference. But for like Kiren and I, it is quite different, especially moving here in September. Like it is like so well said, and it's a cliche, but there's always something to do in London.
Yeah. Always.
You're
crazy.
literally never bored. Like if you want sushi at like 1 a.m, you can get that shit.
Should we do
delivered.
that?
I'm tempted.
We'll do it.
I love sushi.
We'll have sushi tonight.
But like on a bigger scale, like say you want to drop out and become an artist, musician, or like an actress.
Yeah.
Like London is the place to do it.
I think that's why, because I study drama.
Yeah.
The whole reason I came to London was because how theatre-based the city is. It's one of the most popular theatre places
in the world.
In the world, really. I feel like there's no place where else I'd rather study than in London.
Like,
and I'm the same. Like being a huge music fan and a musician. Like
there is always the music people playing.
There's always like cool things going on here. Like festivals and gigs, and I met so many cool people as well through it. Like even in the building, like the other musicians. It's nice. Yeah, I would never have had that. I don't feel back home in Derry.
Yeah, London's got quite like a good networking base. Like
for sure,
you can meet anyone doing anything here.
It's so crazy because I thought because I do drama and all, I thought when I first come here I'd really be like active in terms of trying to like get networking and stuff. And it's crazy because I spoke to our friend last night about like moving to London and so forth. Because our friend's been here, he's in his second year now. And then he was like, "Oh, do you think first year of uni would be like this for you?" And I was like, "No, I didn't think it would be like this." And he was like, "Well, because you're so caught up in everything, you have to get used to it.
Yeah.
You think when you come on, you're on your game, but you're not."
That's true. You feel like when you come to London, you're going to do all the stuff you've always wanted to do.
Yeah, and you just don't. You're just too busy drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And you're like trying to socialise and you're really caught up in the
and you're going
life.
to uni and stuff like that, but like the option is always there if you wanted it to go do something like to go see a play or go to an open mic or something like that.
Yeah. There's always the option, but it's so easy to be lazy about it. Like I could go any point.
But still, I'd much rather even have the opportunity there, even though I don't always make use of it.
Yeah.
Like I would have never had that opportunity back home in Derry.
You're such a slob.
Can't
even drink properly.
That's enough, Kiren.
What's the next? Oh, is that in
it's
childhood?
London and childhood.
Yeah,
What else about London can we talk about?
I don't know.
Here's a question that someone in the building asked who wasn't from here. He asked me specifically, because I lived in London, about do I feel safe on public transport after like there's been bombings and stuff. And I said that like obviously I take it pretty much like every other day, but occasionally sometimes when a train stops underground for like 20 minutes or so, then you get pretty like freaked out.
Yeah.
Or on a bus sometimes when it just stops in the middle of nowhere and you're like, okay. Like, do you ever have concerns about like terrorist attacks? Because I don't think they'd be that. I mean, Northern Ireland maybe, but Leicester there was never any terrorist attacks there.
I mean, like,
that's just like World War II. Well,
I mean, everyone's rowdy in Leicester, I'm not gonna lie, but 95% of the population in Leicester is full of Asians.
And plus, you think about the bigger scheme of things, like London, I'd say is always going to be a target because it's like one of the biggest cities in the world.
Like, do you ever have like a space in your mind for it, like concern? For
London is like the most secured, has the most security. Every street has like cameras everywhere.
That doesn't stop them.
It doesn't stop people. I guess I know. Like my mum always tells me about it. Like she's always very concerned that I'm living in London.
My mum wasn't. Even after like, the whole Paris thing, mum didn't even ask me once. Like, "Are you okay?"
Really?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, Kiren.
No, I have faith.
Mum doesn't love
I
her.
have faith in my government to protect me.
That's very optimistic.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, they actually have more. They actually bought more. They put more funding in so that they could have more armed guns in London. They've upped it by like 2,000.
Yeah,
before we had like a squad of maybe 1,000 armed guards in the entire of London.
Yeah, because like now London in the UK is on like a very high security alert.
It's not even that. I feel like, especially when I go to somewhere in the city, or when I go on, especially after the Paris attacks, I felt really wary when I would go to King's Cross.
Yeah, that's
true.
And like St. Pancras and stuff like that.
That's when I feel like. I mean, when me and you would go to King's Cross, I'm like, tomorrow, like, hold my hand. This might be the last time.
I'm holding her hand right now.
I mean, give me a snog.
Just a cheeky one.
Let's have a quick fuck.
How crude.
Just in the middle of the podcast. It's all good.
It's alright.
We're going to take a minute.
Were you
folks.
both be back?
We're back in 5 minutes.
Were you both here during New Year's?
Yeah, no, I was back home.
Okay, well, I would count home as well. But, you know, during New Year's, they arrested 3 people, I want to say, up in central London, at the fireworks display, who were potential bombers.
That's not a surprise.
Like, that was, like, a big target, and that's why loads of people were scared shit. Like, apparently they had a less appearance of people turning up to the fireworks display than they have in New Year's, because it was just straight after the Paris attacks, and everyone was just like...
I remember it was back in
that is, if you blew up London on New Year's, that'd be one of the biggest statements, like... That'd be a crazy big statement.
Even on Christmas or something.
Yeah, but New Year's, how populated is that spot where everyone's watching it? Yeah. So it's going to be such a big target. And, like, I've never been up to see it, but I definitely wouldn't have seen it this year.
But at the same time, I mean, especially just after Paris, like, everyone in London was kind of like, there's something in the air. Everyone was kind of, like, apprehensive about it.
It's because messages came out saying that London was another target.
I mean, it is. Like, it still is a target.
Yeah. It always is.
You just have to get on with it. Like, no one's going to stay in their houses the whole year, you know what I mean, for fear of an attack. There's nothing you can do.
Still got to live your life.
You do still have to.
You're more likely to get stabbed in London anyway, so...
Yeah.
Alright, I think we should wrap up the podcast if you guys are okay with that, unless you've got more to talk about.
I think.
We'll come back next week and talk about something else.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you need to do.
Thank you, bye.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.